Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a blue jay. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the top part of the body. An easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. You don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. On the top left side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Make this circle about half the size of the body circle. The edges of the two circles should touch. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. Draw a horizontal line across the head for a construction guide. On the left side of the head, draw a small triangular shape as a guide for the beak. Pay attention to the size and position of this shape in relation to the head. On the bottom right side, make a small mark for the lower section of the body. Connect the small mark to the big circle using curved lines to finish the guide for the lower section of the body. This guide should be similar to an upside-down arc. Connect the two circles using sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. On the bottom right side, draw a long thin shape for the tail. Draw two long sloping lines for the sides of the tail and close off the shape at the bottom with a shorter line. Under the body, draw two long sloping lines as a guide for a tree branch. Don't draw the branch too far away from the body. You can draw the branch bigger if you'd like. Connect the body to the branch using a couple of short lines to create the guides for the feet. Draw a couple of curved lines around the branch for the toes. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the horizontal construction guide and to the left of the center of the circle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. As you darken the shape, make the sides pointier for the corners of the eye. Inside the eye, off to the side, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. In the middle of the eye, draw a small circle and shade it in for the pupil. Draw a couple of curved lines around the eye for creases. Keep the lines close to the shape of the eye. Use the triangular shape on the left side of the head as a guide to draw the beak. Darken the top edge of the guide for the top part of the beak. Draw a horizontal line across the shape for the mouth. Darken the bottom edge of the guide for the lower section of the beak. Draw a small shape on the right side for a small clump of feathers. Use short strokes as you draw the shape to create a feathery texture. Draw a couple of short angled lines at the bottom for the base of the beak. Draw a small curved line at the top for the nostril. Use the small circle as a guide to draw the rest of the head. Follow the basic path of the circle to create the shape of the head. On the top right side, draw a small triangular shape for the crest on the head. Pay attention to the size of the crest in relation to the circle for the head. Use a series of short strokes as you darken the shape of the crest to create a feathery texture. Darken the guides at the bottom for the back of the head. Draw more short strokes below the beak for the feathers on the throat. Draw a horizontal line across the head that's made up of short strokes for the pattern on the feathers. Extend the line to the left of the eye. Below that, on the right side, draw two lines that curve to the left for more of the pattern. Draw a long curved shape across the entire body for the folded wing. Follow the edges of the body as you draw this shape. Make the top of the shape wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. Use short curved lines as you darken the shape for feathers. Inside the shape, draw a long sloping line for the separation on the feathers. Darken the right edge of the guides to create the other folded wing. Inside the shape, draw a series of short sloping lines for feathers. Darken the shape at the bottom to create the tail. Make the shape more curved at the bottom as you darken the lines. Draw curved lines within the shape to create the individual feathers. Inside the shape, near the bottom, draw a series of short curved lines for the tips of the individual feathers on the tail. Use the short line that's under the body on the left side as a guide to draw the first foot. Draw the shape of the foot around the guideline. At the bottom, draw the toe around the guideline. To the left, draw a couple of short curved lines for the visible section of the other toes. At the top, draw a few short strokes for the feathery base of the foot. Use the guide on the right as a guide to draw the other foot the same way. Draw the shape of the foot and toe around the guideline. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Darken the thin shape at the bottom to create the branch. Draw a couple of long curved shapes along the top edge of the branch for a bit of snow. Darken the rest of the branch using wavy lines for a bit of texture. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up, but make sure that you take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Now color your drawing. I'm using markers to color, but you can use colored pencils too. Darken the stripes on the head, but don't overlap the eye. Draw a series of short lines inside the wing and tail for the pattern on the feathers. Draw the individual feathers on the wings and tail using ink. The feathers are made up of long sloping lines. Color the beak and feet using different shades of gray. Color the main part of the body using different shades of blue. Color using light shades of blue first and then gradually build up to darker shades. Leave a section blank around the eye and on the underside of the body for the white feathers. Use slightly darker shades of blue for the feathers on the wings and tail. As you color the body, use strokes that go in the direction of the feathers. Leave a few small sections blank on the wings and tail for the white on the feathers. Add slightly darker shades of blue and gray across the body to create shadows. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Color the branch using different shades of brown and a bit of green. Add a bit of blue on the snow to create shadows. Add more ink to the final lines to emphasize the shapes. You can stop here if you'd like or continue to add more detail on the branch. Draw a few big shapes around the branch that are made up of short strokes for pine needles. Use brown for the small branches on the pine needles. Draw the individual pine needles using long strokes. Add some curved lines on the tops of the pine needles for snow. Use a bit of blue and gray for the shadows on the snow. Add a bit of gray for a darker background. Go over the final lines with ink to emphasize the shapes. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the Blue Jay. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let me know in the comments what other animals you want to see me draw. Don't forget to like the video and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.